Everybody put our palms together. Bow to Venerable Miao Tan. 师父吉祥。
吉祥. Okay, please be seated. So basically today my topic is on harmony in oneness and coexistence. As Buddhism is stressed that every one of us or everything in this phenomenon are made up of the four elements, including earth. So as human beings, we know that it comes with the water, earth, fire, and wind. Same goes to the nature. The nature has water also. If without water, no rain, then all the crops will die. Okay? If it's too much of a heat, then there will be fire going on. It's too warm to live on this earth. Anything or any of these elements that is lack of on this earth, then it will create what? Chaos for beings to stay on this earth. So similarly here, if we human beings, any of the elements doesn't work well, we will be sick, right? So the Buddha tells us this teachings meaning that since I am made of four elements, the nature is also consists of four elements, and any difference between you and me is only the appearance. Every one of us has to have, or we grow through this process from young, middle age, and to old age, and die and recycle back again. So since we are the same, or probably we say we are one, I'm one of you and you are one of me, then why is there to have like fights or create riots and so-called unhappiness or wars going on? Basically, it's because there is a concept of so-called the self war, 一个很固定的我, or the ego that I'm the boss of the company, or I'm so and so, I'm the strongest, in my nations or whatever, because of that ego. And so therefore, once you have this self and so ego, then we were not able to see things that really has interconnection with us. You would think that 这个跟我没有关系. What is that? 哎呀，他穷他的事情嘛, he deserve it because he's lazy. Wow, I'm rich. That's because I'm fortunate enough. I have intelligence. I know my strategy of earning money, so I'm much a richer person. So 我们就会有这种分别. Okay? We have the differentiations. So once you have that, do you think you can live in peace and harmony? You can't. Okay, so this is what the topic will cover today on harmony in oneness and coexistence. And why is it so important? So I will start off with yesterday. I have an so-called experiment, but I didn't do it today. But I can just, verbally we share. So in the future of the world or the earth actually requires oneness and coexistence, which are also the fundamental phenomena of all living beings. In our human body, we have so-called the organisms, right? And let's say the cells on this body, it changes, right? If you take the so-called blood test, right? At this time you take this blood test, then maybe another couple of months later, 6 months later, 1 year later, you take the test again. Your blood count or anything in your body changes. So this shows that nothing in this phenomenon is permanent. Even you can say, well, this cup, it is going to be there for 10, 20 years. Yes, it is permanent. But who knows, 10 and 20 years, this becomes tainted, or, it cannot contain water anymore. So you will take it as a waste. You won't use it to drink. So what is the permanence of this cup? No more. And that is the impermanence. Nothing in this earth or in this phenomenon is permanent. So since that is the case, then what is there that we got to insist on, we are going to grab on? Okay. So Buddhism talks about cause and effect. Okay, we talked about cause and effect. And regarding the whole world as one family, and then we recognize that all living beings exist through dependent originations. Anyone knows about what is dependent origination? 因缘都懂嘛哈？我们都有上佛学班哈，对，非常好。So we know that there's a cause. In between there must be a conditions, so you can see the effect. So even though today we are healthy, right? But in terms of the condition, we say the distance of change, right? We didn't take care of ourselves. Okay, we don't bother about our diet, and then we don't exercise, and then we are full of frustrations. We lead a very miserable life. Then what it is effect? You will get a bad health, right? You'll probably get some mental problems and so on. So the change doesn't mean that the cause, I plant good cause. The condition, if I didn't maintain a very good so-called yuan, the effect will be different. Even I have good cause, right? Okay, 我有好的因 but 这个缘我没有把握 那我这个缘的一个转变，我 change this cause to a different effect. 那你就会觉得说啊，师父，我拜佛，我很虔诚 I'm so devoted. I went to 共修 every Sunday. But why? 我还是会生病 Why I still have, a weak body? 为什么？那没有为什么。This is the nature of phenomena. Everything changes. But if we are to seize these conditions, 我们就是把握这一个缘 That is very important. 这个缘是怎么样的一个过程？每一个人 you have your own way of creating these conditions. Then it depends on what kind of effect that you are looking forward to. So now let's look at why is this dependent originations has got to do with the harmony of oneness and coexistence. We know that all living beings are afflicted with ignorance, right? And then we are so attached to illusory appearance of forms. Something that is nice, very pleasant. Wow, 我就很喜欢. I like it. And then once you like it, you will what? You will crave for it. And once you crave for it, you will want to have it. And then it becomes a becoming. That means you get this thing. But when you have this, then after a while, let's say children, they love to have the toys. Then the parents will probably, get these toys. And then once he get these toys, after 2 months, he no longer like his toys. His liking, the condition change. So he disliked these toys. So what is the first sight that when he look at these toys and he love it and he wants it? And now he got it. And then after a while, when time comes, why he starts to dislike it? 为什么? So this is something got to do with our ignorance. And then why is it I like this? Why I like these toys and I doesn't like? Or probably, when in our working team, why I like to work with this partner? And then why I dislike working with that partner? Or probably a good friend can be an enemy in the end. Why? What causes the change? It has something got to do with our understanding of cause and effect. And of course, the dependent origination is very important. Because if there is a self, like what I mentioned earlier, if there is a self, and then there is an ego, then of course, you will come with all dissatisfaction actions or even evil actions. So our ignorance is we take the self, we take selfless as self, and then we take egoless as an ego. My experience yesterday was if I put an ice into the water, what will happen to the ice? What will happen to the ice? 如果我把一个冰块放到水里面，这个冰块你还看得到吗？为什么？冰块跑去哪里了？它融化了，对吧？冰块的 origin 是什么？它的原本 冰块的 origin 是什么？它就是水嘛。所以当它融化的时候，它是回归到它原本的 back to his origin。所以我们也是啊，我们人也是这样子啊。Okay, we come from these four elements, right? Or probably the five aggregate with the combinations of these five aggregates. And we know that this is impermanence because it changes. So we know that dependent originate from ignorance and actions and fabrications, and then you start to have becoming. That means you have a form. Then after that, you will like age and then death and so on. So 这个是我们的人生的一个什么讲？一个循环啊，一个循环。那人事物也是一样 ，same goes to us. So we also change, and then by the end we back to the nature. The ice back to its origin, it becomes water, and you don't see the ice. Doesn't mean that the ice is missing, right? Because it already blends into this water. So 我们跟众生 when we say beings, all living beings, it has to do with plants, it have to do with animals, and it have to do with the nature. 我们如果没有跟这三个东西它是合在一起的，我们是固体的，是一个固定的固体 then we will not able to live happily on this earth. Okay. So my topics today I will cover on four things: the self, the earth, okay, and then the self, the society, the earth, and the universe. 为什么这四样东西？我啦，社会啦，这个大地啊，跟这个宇宙，为什么它跟我息息相关 ？Why is it I have interconnection with these four things? So I'm going to share with you, and because we talked about equality, right, in the dependent origination, and the way we human beings we grow from young to age. Same goes to the plants and the animals. So I'm going to show you this video itself, and then you all can ask questions later on based on what you have seen in this video. And what is your feeling of this video after watching when we go more into the talk later? we say human beings and animals cannot live on their own. Same goes to we all. We need community. Let's say, now I live in this so-called 这个大厦里面, all right? We live in flats. We need our neighbors' kind of help. Let's say in terms of like I'm sick or I have some trouble. So my neighbors, I will seek my neighbors for help. But if you just close up yourself, I lock myself in the room, I don't interact with anybody, then when you are in terms of danger, who is going to help us? This is one. So we know that human beings are varied in different forms. All beings are varied in different forms. But we share one similar things, and that everyone possesses a Buddha nature. And because we have this Buddha nature, then we know what is the cause, and then we know what is the effect. All right? So we say everything in this daily life are built on others' effort. You are the boss of the company. If you don't have your staff to help you to operate, I don't think you can carry on with your business. If you are the so-called the parents of this family, but you never take care of your family at all, you live on your own, do you think your family is going to be a very happy and peaceful family? No. Nothing on this earth can be done by itself. Let's say Fo Guang Shan, Fo Guang Shan, Singapore. Okay, we conduct events. It cannot be just ordered by Venerable Miao say, okay, I'm going to do a harmony walk today, and she does everything. And if none of you participate, do you think this harmony walk will be a successful one? No. Everyone has to come with an effort to make this available. So anything that is built out of a success, or we call it an effect, is of many people's effort. Let's say we have these clothes to wear. We got to be thankful to, the weavers to weave the cloth, and then the tailor to make it into a cloth. We got to thank, the architect to draw the building, and then the workers, the construction workers to construct this building. Then we have a shelter to live on. So 每一样东西在这个世间里面，我们是必须要有互相依靠的，一定有互相的一个连结的一个关系。So same here, if I want to live peacefully and happily on this earth, I should love the earth because I'm part of it. Without this earth, then I don't think we can live happily. Just look at recently, there are so many disasters that's going on. Right? We have tsunami, we have earthquake, and then we even have like floods or fire and so on. What is the cause? What is the cause of these natural disasters? It is because we are not loving the nature. And so therefore the nature is giving us a message. Similarly to this body, why are we sick? It's because we didn't take good care of our body. When it is time for you to rest, you should rest. It's time for you need to drink lots of water, but you didn't do it. So therefore you fall sick. So similarly, the earth needs the love that all living beings are living on this planet. It's got to extend the kindness to it. Then it will live happily or live healthily. So similarly to this body. But how much do we love this earth, and how important it is to understand the ecosystems has so much of interrelations on this earth. Oneness and coexistence, the universe and coexistence on the earth are the world of oneness and coexistence. It is part of it. 就会说我们 when I say you are built of 4 elements, me too, and then with the combinations of 5 aggregates. So I am part of you and you are part of me. We are one. Right? So those who understand that oneness and coexistence are truly wise. 说，我们为什么要有这个智慧去了解这个因缘的一个过程？这个整个因缘法因跟果的一个过程，它是因为有这个缘，它的一个改变。So nothing on this phenomenon is permanent， 没有一个是固定的，它不会是一个永固性的东西来的。So same thing， 这个宇宙或是说这个地球本身，它不是一个固定的，但是我们却住在这一个地方，它确实是有的。The earth exists, but again the earth are formed from different elements, right? So we have to love this in order to save, to stay or to live happily on this earth. So therefore we have to love each other. We have to understand the importance of coexistence. If I'm selfish, I just do what I want, but I neglected. Let's say I start cutting trees, I start polluting the earth, or I start, dumping the trash into, the oceans and so on. That it creates harmfulness or toxic to the sea creatures or even to our earth. Nowadays, why is it that organic vegetables or organic things that is so expensive? Because it's specially produced, right? Last time during my time, young age, we don't have such things. Every plants, everything that we eat go very naturally. So when I was young, I refused to take vegetables because my grandma told me the ground, 它的泥土is made of fertilizers. And these fertilizers is made of our waste. Then I say, ayo. Then I'm taking, the very filthy things I don't want. I never like vegetable is because my concept is this vegetable is grown from the dirt. And so I'm eating my own, waste. No way. So I don't take vegetables. So with that kind of understanding, we know that actually it goes cycle. What I produce, right? Then when go through the conditions, it comes back to us. Because we give up things. And then in the end, the nature gives something back to us. So 同样的，当你散出善的念头的时候，你散出那个爱的时候，那个爱也一定会回归到你的身上。So same thing， 当我们去爱这个地球，地球一样会让我们很幸福、很快乐的活在这个地球上面。So it's a interrelated things. So without this, then of course there will be no peace, or probably we call it the humanistic wisdoms. We can't. So I'm going to show you another videos on the nature. You can see from beauty to how we destroy it, and who are the person, who are the one that destroying this beauty of the nature. What has it got to do with us? Oneness means equality and magnanimity. There are so many, different nations, or even we say races, or different species, right? We are human, they are animals, and they are plants. We are different, but we all relied on one thing, and that is the earth to survive. You say, well, I can quit from the earth, I can stay in somewhere else. Now, scientists is so advanced, they've actually, working so hard with the NASA, going up to Mercury or going up to the sun, or, to plan for another place to stay. If the earth is then destroyed, then we can, live up there. I always ask myself the questions, who is going to bring us to the Mercury? 有没有？我们可以自己去思考一下。虽然地球坏掉了，现在科学很发达，对吧？他们也发现了另外一个一个宇宙，一个不是地球那种叫做什么的星球呀，星球另外一个星球也是可以居住的。我要问我自己，我怎么到达这个星球 ？Okay, so we says we are different, but actually we are the same. So we all have to survive on the earth. Then why are we harming the earth? Buddhist has a parable. It says there are three persons: one that cannot see, one that cannot walk, and another one that cannot talk. They live together in this building, and this building caught fire. And then, of course, the one that cannot walk, he will have danger in his life. The one that cannot see doesn't know even where the path should go, right? And then the one that cannot talk, how can he, run and say, help, help, if he's in danger? He can't even shout for help. But yet, they can leave this burning building safely. Why? Because they help each other. The person that cannot walk was being carried by the person that cannot talk. Okay? And the person cannot see is rely on the persons that can walk. So they hold out each other's hand. And then I give commands, then I help you, carry, 就抱着那个不能走路的人然后那个不会讲话的人，他有脚嘛，他只是不能说话而已嘛，所以他就告诉那个会看到的人，会没有看到的人，他懂得怎么走。So he give commands, okay? Say okay, 这样。So he carry these persons, and then safely they leave this burning house. So 一样的，当我有不足的地方的时候 when I'm lack of, I'm not that good in certain points. Okay, let's say, in schools, I'm weak in my maths. But my friend is good in science, and I'm good in Chinese. So I'm trying to help my friends. Let's say, okay, I'm weak in maths, can you please, help me? Or probably teach me. And then, we work together. Then I can cover up, what you are lack of, and then you help me with what I'm lack of. So in the end, we managed to complete our studies. We are not that smart persons, but we help each other. So similarly, when we say it's about coexistence, it means we show compassion and harmony, and all beings are interdependent on each other. Like what I shared earlier, there's nothing that we can say, oh, 我一个人, I can manage all these things. If a cook, a chef, he's a good cook, but if he doesn't have any assistance to help him to cut, to prepare all so-called the accessories or whatever, the recipes, all this, the cook cannot do all by himself. But if the cook has done all by himself, and then when he starts to serve, and there's none of us is there to appreciate his food. So no matter how well and how good this chef is, if there's no one to taste his food, this food is nothing. This chef has nothing. What is his status as a chef? 没有，because 没有人欣赏你啊。 Take for example, I want to practice compassion. I want to practice charity. But if there is no one there for me to practice this, then how do I show my compassion? And how do I show that my ability to help other people if none of them needs help? So we need to have so-called the coexistence in order to live happily. And this is like the story of this three different categories, the three men that are able to live harmony, and then they are able to evacuate from the danger. So we help each other in terms because we know that I'm one of you and you are one of me. That's because every one of us possesses this Buddha nature. And thus all living beings are the Buddha, and we are no different anything than the Buddha, but we are equal. Yesterday I did ask friends, I says, when we take the refuge, and our masters will always say, 我是什么?我是佛. Why the masters want us to affirm that, yes, I am the Buddha? Because he also emphasized that every one of us possesses this Buddha nature. And I also would like to ask you all, what is Buddha nature to you? 你对佛性的一个了解是什么？什么是佛性？我们每一个人都有自己的佛性。What is the Buddha nature to you? Is it something that you can see, you can touch, you can feel? What is that? Anything you can mention. What is Buddha nature? Compassion. Okay, someone says compassion. Yeah. Human nature. A human nature. An extent of human nature. Yeah. Okay. Buddha nature, when we say everyone has this inherent Buddha nature is actually the seeds. The wholesome seeds that we plant into our consciousness. As we know, when this consciousness has all the good seeds, and when we encounter any circumstances or any situations, these good seeds will sprout, just like the animal. Even though it's not from the same group, but they have the Buddha nature. They think that now he's in danger, and I will try all my best to help. I have to protect. I must save his life. So because they have this consciousness, these so-called seeds that planted into this consciousness, and when the condition is ready, these seeds will just sprout. So we say when we go in the cycles of rebirth, right? Okay, the first thing is it starts off with ignorance. Because of ignorance, then we start to have, the actions. But if our actions, even though we are ignorant of don't know what is right or wrong, then we conduct these actions. But then as it goes, then when it comes to craving, I start to learn Buddhism at that time when, at the stage of craving. Then I realized that, oh no, nothing in this phenomenon is permanent. Even when I get it, I might lose it. 因缘生,因缘灭嘛. Things arises and also cease when condition is ready. Then another conditions will just arise, another cause will just arise when the condition is ready. So 因缘生,因缘灭. So when I come to that stage, then I say, okay. Where am I? I lost myself. Yeah. So, you see, we know that anything changes. So when I comes to craving, 我知道我学了佛法我知道这个 is impermanence. Then I cut off. So my so-called liberations can just eliminated from this craving when I know Buddhism that nothing is permanent. So 我就可以从这个地方接下去. So the same thing. When we understand that in this phenomenon, we have to rely on each another. So when my evil thoughts arises, I was using an example that there was an employer who wants to send his ill or sick workers or injured workers back to his country, which is not fit to do so, and someone helped the worker to fight for the rights for him to stay back. And in the end, the employer says, are you going to hold responsible if anything happens to the worker? No, I'm not going to hold any responsible, but it's you. If anything that happens when this so-called this worker or this employee is sent on board, and if anything happens during the process, he might die in between. Let's say he has to transfer from one place to another, and he's really not fit to do so. When he arrived in one of the destinations, he still got to take bus, or probably he still got to walk all the way back to the place where he comes from, and he's not fit. So this so-called, I think it's a social worker, I forgot about the news. And then he says, I'm not going to hold responsible, but if anything happens, you will be responsible. Then I ask myself, why is, we are all human beings. It's just because you are the boss, because you have good karma to be reborn as a boss, and you have the status. And for me, poor thing, I didn't create good karma for me to reborn in a higher realm, or probably in a higher status, in this earth. So I have to be a worker. But we are the same. We are human beings. But why are you not feeling? You don't have a sense of sufferings that I am actually suffering, and you are so cruel and evil that you can do such thing to me. So I was asking myself, why is it so? 为什么动物都可以帮助别人， but 为什么人类要互相残杀？ Why? There are a lot of cost behind, because there's a self, because there's a discriminations, because there's an attachment, and all these are because we doesn't have the actual or the correct understanding of the truth from cause and effect. We don't see it. It's only when we see the effect then we realize, why there's a tsunami, why there's a flood. By the time when you see the effect, it's too slow. So we want to know, we have to prevent the cause. So from understanding of so-called the process, and in between the condition is very important. So we have to cut off from there. So the Buddha says, every one of us are equal. Never think that you are a strong and then he's a weak. Never think that now I'm having a high status and you have to take my order. And I don't bother, 你的生死是怎么，你就是要给我完成。I did mention yesterday about the elections also. Why is such a successful election yesterday in Taiwan? Of course, some parts of it, we didn't win, but it's still a very successful elections. Why? Because everyone sees there's a goal. They are looking forward to this goal. And if there's a goal, everyone has to come together. If I set a goal for you, but none of you all come together, this goal is nothing, it's just an object. Or let's say I set this goal, but I didn't think of the needs of these people. Let's say he set a goal of we want to raise the what do you call the success in economic rates and so on, and then I want to create more jobs for you guys, and I want to sell your products. This is the goal that he set, and which can be achieved, and it is also your goals as well. So we have the same team, and you work together, it becomes a success. But if I set a goal of my own, well, I want to be rich, okay, and I want to achieve this and that. But in terms of you want to be rich, but you just want to stay healthy and enjoy what you have earned, right? But for me, I set my goal, I never think of that part. I think that we work together because we want to reach the goal of I want more money. But I forgot the rest, that what you really need. So this will never be successful. I only think of myself. Then this election will not be a winning elections. Kaohsiung will still lose to the oppositions. So there's This Bodhisattva, mentioned in the Lotus Sutras, he says, I dare not look down on you because I know you have the capability of becoming a Buddha. It's similarly that just now we confirm ourselves that we have the Buddha nature and we have the ability to be awakened and to attain Buddhahood. We can. In a sense that the conditions, we have to do it. And what is it? That is oneness and coexistence. It's not just for yourself. 你不是为你自己而做的。我们做的每一样个东西，我们要为别人想到，这个有没有伤害到？这个有没有需要？是大家的需要，还是我的需要？ Just like Venerable Master, Master Xing whatever he do, it's not for his own benefits. It's actually for the benefits of all beings. Take for example, why he wants to build so many temples, 5 continents. It's not for him to, because I want to be famous, I want to be known that I have so many temples in the 5 continents. No. Every place that he traveled, and he realized that, especially those immigrants, in the foreign country, they think that they are lack of Dharma, and then they are so-called the second citizens of that country. So they feel like, I'm not home, this is not a home to me. And there's something that they lack of in life. So they need Dharma. So they tell Venerable Master, can you send someone, can you send your disciples here to share the Dharma with us? Dharma is like, the oil they add on to the petrol or the energy that they are giving us so that we can carry on, in our life. And then we have something that we can rely on. So Venerable Masters, out of compassion, he says, yes, we must help these people who are, so desperate that looking for, a home. I shall build a temple here for them as a home. So everyone gathered together to share the Dharma. And this is how every place in the world that has Fo Guangshan's branch temple. And what he does, and again, is not for himself. Take for example, when he traveled to Brazil, and he looked at the life that these children, in the swamp area, what kind of life they are leading. They are being asked to sell drugs. They are being trained to be a thief, a robber. They need to steal. And then they need to, they are trained to sell the drugs. So their life will ended up in jail. These children or the youth in Brazil don't see a future. They don't know what is going to be in their life and what they will be when they grow up. What they know is, when I grow older, I will be like my father or I'll be like my brother that is locked inside the jail. This is what they know. They don't know what is the future. So Venerable Master says we have to give opportunity to these children to have a chance to attend school. So he set up a small little center at this area and allow the children to learn basic knowledge. And slowly when they get used to us, because we are from different group, right? We are different in forms, but we share the same thing, that is life. We need to carry on our life. So we help these children, and slowly when they get the knowledge and they have confidence with us, they will be transferred to our temple in Brazil. I don't know the location's name. So they were sent to our temple, and slowly from there they learn Dharma, they learn Buddhism, they learned the so-called the ethics of Buddhism. And slowly, when they are more mature enough and then they have confidence enough, we send them to the normal schools in that country. They got a proper education. And these children, the first batch of kids, are now 18 years old. Some are 20 years old. They are doing so well. Some are very successful in computer. They become the IT profession. Another one, they are very proficient in doing design. So he again see his future. And for the rest of it, because they love sports, so they set up a team of a soccer team. And they went competitions, they win every competitions. So they have so much of confidence and they see the future, what they want. So this is out of compassion. Venerable Master never says, oh, because you are Brazilian, I'm Chinese. So Brazilians, you are born so poor, in this so-called this area. Because of your bad karma, so you have to face it. No. Venerable Master gives them conditions. It's a matter of whether they want to change. The condition is given to them. So with that, these seeds change. And then it gets a different effect. So same thing. If this child is going to grow in this area, selling drugs, doing evil actions, of course, these conditions will only put him in an evil effect. So with that, we see that we help each other because we have the right to live a happy and peaceful and equal life in this earth. So these bodhisattvas think that everyone has the ability, the capability to become a Buddha because we all possess this Buddha nature. And when we say oneness, embodies equality and tolerance, and with these two qualities, the right conditions can be gathered. And all beings have different capacities and traits, but by accepting and tolerating them for who they are, and we are respecting them as beings. Just that the examples where I just, share with you. So I read the book that is written by Ajahn Brahm, that there was a riot, in a place, Guanatan Bay, something like that, Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Someone threw the Holy Quran into the toilets, and then it flushed down the toilets. This becomes a very heated subject, during, that region. Then, of course, it becomes a news, So all these medias, they went to do, reporting and so on. So one of the media went to visit a holy monk, and that is Ajahn Brahm. He went to visit him, and he said, dear sir, can you please tell me if what happened one day, someone were to throw the Buddhist book into the toilet and flush this book down the toilet, what would you do as a Buddhist monk? What would you do if you are a Buddhist, if someone do this thing to us? 你会怎么样？如果人家把佛教的经典丢到垃圾桶，丢到这个火里面去把它烧掉，作为一个佛教徒，你会怎么样？ Your first reaction, what will you do? What will you do? Fight back, right? This is where the terrorists come in. Fight back. Will you fight back? Or you argue, you have a debate? Will you? No. What will you do? What will you do, Mr. Ko? Karma. Oh gosh. Okay. We have different interpretations towards handling such a matter. But he is a very wise practitioner, and he also practiced humanistic Buddhism in his life. And he tell the media, I will call the plumber. Isn't it? We cannot focus on people. We cannot focus on object. We should focus on our goal. The ultimate thing is to solve the problem, right? When you flush the toilets got stuck. So you have to solve the problem, not by arguing or debating it based on people. Yeah, Islam is Catholic is and you focus on the object. Yes, this is my Buddhist sutra, and so holy. It's by my great holy teacher. How can they do it? If you focus on people, you focus on object, you will not have peace. There will definitely be wars going on. So as a Buddhist, we are wise. Right? Like what Mr. Ko says, it's karma, we have to face it. Yes, karma, but karma can be changed. Karma is created by us, whether it's a good karma or it's an evil karma. It's all created by us. If we are able to open our heart to embrace the difference, if we are able to be tolerant, and then we think that it's equal. If anybody do that, someone do this to, the Islam. Of course, the Islam gets angry. And then if we want to take revenge, again, let's say this thing is done by a Buddhist, for example, they throw the Quran. Then, of course, the Islam will also throw our Buddhists. So if this goes on and on and on and on, it will be a war. And this is why the world have no peace, is because each and every one of us stands on our positions as a self, and we are looking at only one point. We never look at our goal. What is our ultimate goal? As a Buddhist, our ultimate goal is to be liberated from suffering. Anyone comes to this earth to suffer? No. We have a mission here to spread peace and harmony. Am I right? This is why we can live on. So it's very important for us to cooperate and to embrace love, compassion. Even though the animals has nothing got to do with me, animals deserve to be my food. He deserves to, satisfy my craving. So I can, take the creatures from the sea. I can slaughter creatures from the land. I can even shoot creatures from the space, and it becomes my food. So I was telling a joke to the audience the other day. I said, one day, if it happens I went to another, region or another place, let's say the Amazon area, where all the wilds, they are living. And then when they see you, wow, this is what kind of animals. I have never seen that before. Wow, I'm going to feed on it. I'm going to barbecue. So I say it's different because we only think of ourselves. And then we never want to kind of like real understanding what is the needs that we really need. Is it that we have to kill somebody to make ourselves strong? Is it that we have to fight? We have to argue to make myself says, hey, you see how intelligent I am. I win in debate. I win in, getting the status. You win, yes, but in the end, you will lose a lot of friends. You will lose a lot of company. So oneness and coexistence is so important for us to live on this earth. So compassion means unconditioned loving kindness and indifference magnitude. When you want to embrace the persons, we will not choose say, hey, 他是我认识的，他是我不认识的。I did ask the audience again yesterday. I say, if not, it's just a friend or probably a stranger. It is not your friend. It's just a stranger. You doesn't know him at all. And you are not a swimmer, right? And then he fell into the river. Will you save this man? Yes. Wow, not bad. Why you want to save? You are not a swimmer, Huh? Will you save? My question is, will you save? A yes or a no? No, right? No, right? Because you can't swim, right? Yeah. Because you can't swim. Because I can't swim, so I will not save the person. What happened? The drowning person is you. 我们交换. The person that is drowning is you, right? How you wish that someone comes to my age, right? Come to save me. Bomba? Yeah, and then they killed. Yeah, no. My question is, when you see someone drowning, you are not a swimmer, will you try to save? Yes. I'm not a swimmer, but I have the urge. I must try to save him even though I'm not a swimmer. How I wish at that time, you will say, how I wish I can swim so I can run immediately to help. But since I can't, I must try to find aids to help. So that is a measurement of how much we look at compassion and how much we think that equality. We think that not so much of equal. You know, 你死你的事情啊, there's nothing got to do with me. When you drown, who asked you don't learn how to swim? Usually we do that to others. Am I right? But no, Bodhisattvas embraced everybody as one. So I'm going to show you the next video, which you can see when we do something good to others, in the end, what we receive is something that benefits me. So in Chinese, there is a saying, 不要以善为小而不做，不要以恶为小而不畏，不怕。这个小事情没有关系啊，打人一巴掌小事啊，这个善这么小，来扫个地有功德咩？没有功德啊，不用做了。You know, no. Whatever what you call transmit out 了哈，我们说你散发出的是一个善的东西，你一定会收回来是善的果报。You know, when the oil lamp, you know, we know when we want to lit the oil lamp, you need to have oil and you need to have the weeds, right? Then you need to have the fire. So when you light up this lamp, because all the condition is ready, there's oil, there's wheat, and there's the fire. So this oil lamp can light up. It shines on. But when slowly the oil is used up and the wheat is burnt off, then there will be no more light. Doesn't mean that this light is extinguished. It's when you add on the oil and you change the wheat, you will continue to get fire. You continue to get light. That's for sure, right? So I'm going to show you this video here.
Sometimes I lay under the moon, I thank God I'm breathing, and I pray, don't take me soon, cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pray. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about will play. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more, there'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one
Okay. He is the person, he begins to spread the loving kindness to the little ones, and then the little ones spreads his loving kindness to the elderly, and it goes on and on and on from different so-called stages or different walks of light. And then he spread this loving kindness to the persons that were so depressed. With a single simple deeds that we extend to this stranger, we don't know each other, but we can see that the beautiful smiles on their face, how much of appreciation that they think that it was a good deed. And I must share this loving kindness to others. And in the end, the good kindness comes back to him. So, 不要以为我们做一件事情 is for myself, because 我要累积功德我要怎么样子。Yes, you can have that thoughts, but then basically, our main things of doing good deeds is because we think that the opposite parties needs this help at this time. Right? When your friend is depressed, then you'll probably lend a shoulder or lend your ear. Okay, you can throw out, your dissatisfactions or whatever 苦水 you have. You just speak out. Just lend your ear by being patient, listening to your friend. I'm sure it's a great relief to your friends by just doing a very simple deeds of lending your ear or just lending your helping hands. That he's drowning, just extend your hand to help him, saved from the drowning. So we just think that simple things is always neglected. And these simple things is compassion. We have this compassion because we have Buddha nature, isn't it? But we don't know that we have this compassion. It is because we have differentiations. We have discriminations. We always have this difference. Okay, 他是老板，我是工人，他是有钱人，我是穷苦的人，他是国王，我是这个兵。So when we have this difference, then of course there is a gap. Then if I have so-called differentiations in, okay, you are my client, okay, and then you are from my nation, so I will protect you, and I don't care about, other countries. Let's say, okay, from Malaysia, or he's from, India or whatever. When there is a fire, or when there's a war that going on, will you protect your own Singaporeans, or you think that your ability, you can protect the rest? Will you take in the rest? Will you also take in the rest? It's just that the color is different. You will. All right? So, if there is no discriminations, no comparing of the gain and loss, then instead in our daily life, we practice compassion, harmony, and respect among all living beings. Then we can live peace and harmony together. Right? These are two words that two venerables or two practitioners, which I have full respect beside my own masters. And these are the two quotes that mentioned, by them. And I take this to share with you, because I think what they say is really very important in this society at this present moment. Let us fill our hearts with our own compassion towards ourselves and all living beings. When you want to practice compassion, like just now we say, we want to save people that is drowning, but I am not a swimmer. Okay, so I am going to help, but I can't because I'm not a swimmer. But I have this compassion. That is my so-called own compassion. So I am going to look for any kinds of aids. Regardless of a rope or anything that I can throw to let him grab on, to save him from drowning, I will just do my very best. Because you are one, you are me, and I'm you. We are one. Okay? Regardless of to whoever, to ourselves or to all living beings. And again, when we say we have to be compassionate with ourselves, that means you have to also balance your life. Don't sleep too late. Don't overwork. Right? Eat your balanced diets. Don't have too much of a craving. This is you having a compassion over yourself. And also like the employer and the employee, issues. Never think that you are the employer and then you can do whatever. We have to think of ourselves. By doing that, will I, create sufferings to the worker? I have to have that kind of thoughts for others. Right? And Mother Teresa says, if we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. We belong to each other. It's just that we share different surname. Right? We live in different area, but we share the same life, the four elements. Right? We are just different in form. Okay? We grow from baby, to youth, to adults, to strong men, and to old age, and we die. Animals, the same process. Plants, from little seeds, sprout, become a plant, become a tree, and then becomes a fruit tree that provides shelter, provides food. It also goes through the process. And then it reproduces again. The seeds fall onto the ground and it grow up again. So similar things. So what Venerable Master says, among all forms of happiness, none is happier than harmony. Harmony is very, very, very important. If we don't have peace, if we don't have harmony in so-called this country, I'm sure you won't want to stay in Singapore. If we are staying in the country like, Pakistan, we are keep fighting because of, religious or racial, discriminations, then there are always fights. You won't live a happy life. All right? Among all enjoyment, none is more enjoyable than peace. One of the audience said, my greatest enjoyment is Dharma. I like mahjong sessions. I like singing sessions. Yes, that is my greatest enjoyment. But if you lose in Dharma, There are 4 players, right? And then the opposite parties keep winning, and then you lose out the opposite party. Do you think you're happy with this game? You won't have a peace of mind, right? And if you keep contributing and contributing, but you don't get any so-called rewards, you won't be happy. Right? You sing. Yeah, you can enjoy singing in the karaoke. And then when the session ends, and then you're back home, your husband or your wife say, "Why you come back so late? Huh? Why you didn't take care of their home?" Where is your enjoyment? Gone. It's only peace that can let you enjoy real harmony, real happiness. Right? Okay. I'll just quickly go through. Okay. Compassion opens the path to the realizations of one's true nature. It's only when you have compassion, then you can see your true nature. Like one of the audience have shared, yes, we have our human nature, we have our Buddha nature. And what kind of nature I have, whether I'm a loving kindness person, or I'm a quick-tempered person, or I'm an evil person, it's only through our actions that we can tell how much of good seeds that I have, how much of compassion that I have within me. All right. All virtuous teachings arises from a compassionate heart, and this is why we practice Buddhism. Okay, to open up your heart, how to open? Use a zip, press a button. How do we open up our heart? To awaken to the true capacities of happiness, we have to take down the wall that separate us and open our hearts. And again, I would want to ask you, which wall, what kind of wall that separates us? 什么墙？我们有一栋什么的墙，来将我们的这个慈悲心啊，将我们的这个平等心呢，隔离了。什么墙 ？What wall? Not Berlin Wall, definitely. 自私 ，okay, selfishness. 哈？无明 ignorance, yeah, ignorance, yes. Ignorance is the wall that we built to separate us from seeing the truth. 因为有这个无明，我们建了这一栋墙，让我们没有办法看得很清楚前面是什么，或是在我们的前方它是什么，我们就自以为是的。我知道前面是什么，我就去做了一些的动作 my actions, and then that is the creations of sufferings. Right? So bodhisattvas embody the traits of compassion, even 一点点的善事 and wisdom, and this is the spirit. 你至少要有一点点的 compassion that you have. This is the time where you can really open up your heart and to embrace. And this is oneness and coexistence. Right? They all see human beings are bodhisattva, see all human beings as their own sons and daughters, and sees no beings as a separate from themselves. So same thing, Guan Yin Pusa. Right? We know Pusa also manifest in different forms, out of compassion. And now you need this help, so I lend my shoulder to you. You need a ear to listen. Okay, I lend you my ear. I manifest in different forms to help you ease from your suffering. And I always say, our mother, or even our children, or even my own master, my master, is really a bodhisattva. Because he sees everyone as equal. He sees the needs of what other people need. And he has no other thoughts, no second thoughts of what I should do. If you are, let's say, Japan, for example, that was, so-called attack, or, that have this tsunami, and most of the families or the factories or even the people, they were killed because of these natural disasters. Then we have to provide relief, to the country. And we know Japanese, they are very strong nations. they have pride. They doesn't want assistance. They doesn't want help from other place to come in. Then if you want to extend your help, but they didn't accept, they didn't accept your help, then what can you do? Right now, Venerable Master says, erect a tablet, and we are going to do chanting. 我们诵经回向，祝福这些亡灵啊！我们诵经回向，祈福，祝福这些这个在生的人。We can't send relief, but we can, because we have a compassionate heart for them. We can do this thing for them. And finally, the government allow BLIA. We are being very proud, being a BLIA members. If you are not a members, please join the BLIA members. We are being so proud that we are a BLIA members, and then we are being so internationally recognized. Immediately, the government contacted, our branch temple in Japan and says, yes, for Guangshan, you can send your relief to our country. And then immediately we send the container, by flight, sent to so-called the devastated place. So this is how it goes. Because we have compassion, we think that 就是中文说己饥啊 you hungry, I feel your hunger. You suffer, I feel your suffering. So we have to help each other. And then throughout history, we know that there's wars going on. Why is it there's wars going on? It is because we have discriminations, we have differentiations. Then we shall learn to embrace them by transcending our own selfishness and prejudice. We have to have so-called selfless. We have egoless. That's what earlier I did mention. Okay, I'm going to speed up a little. Now, we talked about nature. We say nature is very important to us because we are one part of the nature. And the nature nurtures us because whatever they provide to us, that nurtures us. So in return, what we do is we are going to return back to the nature. So now everyone are so cautious about protecting the earth, save the earth, right? So we start to cut down pollutions. We start to, recycle, all the waste products. And then with high technology, we are trying to work on how do we, so-called clean up the oceans, how do we save the coming to extinct creatures and so on. And this is being fair by not asking another beings to sacrifice to satisfy, our cravings. So there is a so-called a project or a program going on. Sign on as a vegan. How long you can, take being a vegetarian. Nothing got to do with religion. But it is the thoughts that will come together to save the earth. So you can sign for 2 days vegetarian, you can sign for 2 years vegetarian, or even 6 days a month, or let's say 3 months a year, whatsoever. It's up to you to sign on, to be a vegan at this period of time. And this is, everyone comes together. There's a project, I forgot to put the link here today. You can possess, 对吗？你们有去台湾的人 right? There's a link, I will check the link for you if you are interested, can come later. So when there is magnitude and there's a spacious, and when there is compassion, there's fearless. 当你的胸怀很大的时候 you can take in, 你可以包容很多的东西 But if your heart is so narrow, is so close up, 所以你能够装的东西是很少的 It's very little. Then when you are so little, you are afraid to lose, right? Not. Let's say I only have $10 in my pocket. Then I'm so worried that what happens if I drop this $10? Then I'm penniless. I have no money at all. So if I have a very spacious mind, I open up my heart. 没关系, I lose $10, I still got 1 cent. No? Maybe I can just, take a bus or whatever. It's okay. 你就不会很挂碍、很在意、很生气 that you lose your $10 and probably you got to walk back or you don't have any transports because you lose this dollar. 不会，你会非常非常的欢喜。It is a good time for me to do exercise. Positive thinking. Right? Okay. Then here is I talk about the equality in humans, in plants, and in animals. Animals relies on plants as food. And we relies on plants also for food. Right? And animals, we don't rely on animals for food. If we kill the animals, right, the animals will not take the plants, and then the plants will not sprout to, another new plants. 对吧？它一定有一个 reproductions, it goes on, because one cause and then it gets another effect. And then when this cause ceased, another cause grow. So it is not fair that we destroy the plants. And then when the animals have no food to rely on, who do you think the animal will go to? To humans. The lion will feed on humans, right? The dog will chase after us. Right? It's the same thing. I'm trying to destroy one nation, another nation will definitely take the revenge on us. So it doesn't mean that by cutting down the trees, by slaughtering all this life, it has got nothing to do with us. Yes, look at the current disasters. It has got to do with us. It is the nature that telling you a message. Stop doing it. Please behave. Please extend your loving kindness to me, and I will extend my loving kindness to you. 作恶得恶吗？作善得善。this is cause and effect, right? So if we love plants, animals, all beings, then you can see the beauty of the nature. Look, if we can have the compassion and equality, and even if we practice accordingly in tolerance, joy and equanimity, then we can see that these children, even they are not as rich as what we are living now, they live happily with the nature. They are not lack of anything. They don't need a computer. They don't need a handphone to know the world. I must start to love the earth. No. From there, they know that I live with the nature and I love the nature. And in return, the nature loves us. So coexistence, oneness and coexistence is humanity. In humanity, we live in peace. So this is why we keep advocating, emphasizing world peace, world peace. Peace in religious harmony. Peace in so-called racial harmony. It's so important. And another last quote that I want to share from Mother Teresa is, a life that is not lived for others is not a life. 我们的生活来自于别人，对吧？如果我今天是一个工人，如果没有我老板，我去赚什么钱？我的老板如果没有别人 supply 他东西 ，how can he sell his product? Right? And if this manufacturer, he doesn't have this product to manufacture, he also cannot sell his products to us. So we are interrelated. Everyone's live on others' effort or others' labor. They come up with their own effort, the hard work. So we are interrelated. With open hearts and non-discriminating mind, then we will be seeking Dharma in people. 每一个人都是一本经本 because everyone is unique. Everyone has a different degrees of compassion. Everyone have a different degrees of looking at beings. Okay, so it's just like that Bodhisattva that just mentioned. Okay, now we talk about the earth. How do we come together? If only Miao Can Fa Shi or only Fu Guangshan's Venerable here give the so-called the slogan, say, love the earth, love the earth. But none of us have any actions. None of us, supported this program or this project. Then even how hard I work on, we can't. But if everyone agrees that yes, we have to come together to save this earth, yes, what I can do? Okay, I do recycle. Okay, I stop throwing, the waste into the earth and so on. I start to love the earth. We work together. Then, with all these concerted efforts, 集体创作, then we can make this thing in existence. If only me, myself, or you yourself, that you want to do this, it's not possible. It has to come with all everyone's efforts to make it. So, through oneness and coexistence, we can bring harmony and make the world a complete one. We say, if you see the earth, you see the mountains, it's so beautiful. Because it's made of different, range, they have different trees, and then of a different level. Some hills are high, some hills are low. To make these mountains look so beautiful, right? In the class, why is it such an interesting class? Because there are some, very intelligent, and some very quiet, and some very playful. That makes a very colorful kind of what we call the combinations in the class. If every student are just nobody raised questions, nobody have any doubts, and nobody voice anything, what the teacher say, and everyone just look down on the table, do you think this class is interesting? And the teachers will go on with what he wants to say? No, because there is response. There is response from the students asking questions and so on. That makes the class or the lessons more interesting. So I say the rainbow is so beautiful. We see rainbows, especially when a kid he saw rainbow. And this rainbow is so beautiful. It's because the rainbow never envy on each other. You never say, hey, red color, why are you right on top? Hey, why must I be on the second level or the third layer? No, it's because they accept each another, and then it becomes so beautiful. I used an example yesterday that Venerable Masters did mention. He shared a story of our face, right? The mouth speak to the eyes. The mouth speak out, say, hey, the eyeball is so useless. He's not doing anything. But why is this eyeball has to be right on top of the face? And I have to stay right on the bottom of the face. And the nose agree. The nose say, yes. Without me, you can't even smell fragrance. And then the eye says, yes, I'm just as important. Without me, looking at things, then you won't see the beauty of this world. I also dissatisfied. I agree with you why the eyeball must be right on top. And the innocent eyebrow says, yeah, I knew that. I'm so useless. Okay, I'm willing to come down. Let you be the top. So the eyebrow travel down to the level of the eyes. And then when the eyes look at it, when the mouth look at it, ooh, it looks so weird. No, it looks ugly. And then you say, okay, travel down to the nose area. And the nose say, oh, no, please, don't stay here. It looks weird, it looks ugly, you make me look funny. Okay, then you travel down to the mouth and you stay on the mouth. Okay, now I have come down to the lower level as you wanted. Are you satisfied now? And the nose and the eyes, after a meeting, agree that even the eyebrow is useless. But I think he is at the right positions to make things look good. So the eyebrow travel back on the face to make it look normal. So the same thing. We don't envy on anyone. We have no jealousy because every individual has his uniqueness. They are capable of doing. Don't think that they are useless, right? It has a hidden Buddha nature in them. It is just that we cover this Buddha nature with ignorance. We didn't open up ourselves. Okay, the last but not least, selfishness only compresses our spirits of giving, and compresses our spirit and give ourselves a very shadow visions of the world. 对吗？当你的心胸很狭窄的时候，你看到的东西就是这么小吗？当你的心胸打开了之后，你所看到的东西是无限尽的。It's endless. It's just like what I shared earlier. It's spacious. Because we open up our heart. And therefore we can embrace, we can, take in a lot of things. So we religious people, our purpose should be to rid ourselves from selfishness. Okay? And fosters a civic spirit. We are one. You are me. I'm part of you. You are part of me. We are human beings. Singapore has a very good nation's, song, right? One nation, one people, one Singapore. This is Singapore consists of 4 different groups of races. Yeah, but we live together in one nation, and then we are one people. So-called one people is what we are all Singaporean, right? Similarly, the same thing. If anyone live in Singapore, and then he says, no, I'm a Malaysian, no, I'm an Indian, and no, I'm a European, then Singapore will not have peace and harmony. Okay. All right. So when we see how we can coexist, we will develop loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Is this sentence very familiar to you all? Kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. That's our gata, right? BLA gata. This is the only way to make the world into a humanistic pure land, peace and joy. 我们说不用等到我们往生西方极乐的净土，我们可以在我们的人间已经开始建立我们的人间净土。You can build up the pure land in this human world by doing what we say is oneness and coexistence. By not being selfish, but being selfless. Then we will create our pure land on this human world. Okay, just in time. Only 5 minutes late. Okay, that's what I want to share with you all today on harmony in oneness and coexistence. It is important because we come to this world. Our mission is to spread happiness. None of us here coming to this earth is to spread suffering, spread war, spread fight. I'm sure none of us here. But sometimes we see differences in this. Again, back to our dependent origination, because everyone creates different karma. And then in between, there's a different conditions that comes in, give us a different effect. So since every one of us has the Buddha nature, meaning that we have all the good seeds in our consciousness. So try to nurture these good seeds, give more holy Dharma water, to let it sprout into a big tree that shelters all, and which means we try to open our hearts and embrace all beings, that we can live in peace and harmony. Okay, thank you.
那个师父问一下哈，您的讲座啊，因为我本身我要帮您写一个新闻稿，那您的这个标题哈，是要用无言大慈同体大悲，您觉得合适呢，还是用一合相比较合适呢？
它本来就是同体大悲，无言同慈，同体大悲。
那您用这个比较合适是吧？
是的。
好的。
一合相它不一样的点在于don't mind if I use Mandarin, right? Okay, right? 所谓的一合相，就好比说，这个杯子它叫做杯子。Right， 然后这个杯子它可以有不同的这个look， 但是它的 capacity 它是一样的，我是可以用来喝水的。我们每一个人都长得不一样，但是我们都有一个共同体，那就是四大和合的共同体。啊，这个就是一个一合相。我们在这个宇宙里面，我们在不要说到宇宙，我们是在这个地球上面，这个地球是在宇宙里面的其中的一个地球，而我们是在这个其中的里面。所以一合相就是宇宙跟我有关系，地球跟我有关系，这些人跟我有关系。了解吗？好 ，OK， 好，还有其他的吗？没有，我就可以下课了。
Okay, thank you very much, Miao Tan.